This is what I'm going to show you how to make in this video. Today we're going to be talking about how to make jungle. As always, you can get this full project file, samples, MIDI, presets, literally everything from this video is available at the top of the description on my website. Definitely don't miss out. The link is right at the top of the description, like I said, and it's a great thing that you can do right now and take your tracks to the next level today. You know, the style is kind of hard to make, but you can grab this template right now and instantly have something really good to just get started and make the best tracks of your life. You can also check out my lessons and custom tutorials, ghost productions, track finishing, all that. Link is at the top of the description for that as well, guys. The slots are starting to fill up, so definitely go ahead and grab one of those while you can. Link is all there at the top of the description. Thank you so much for the support, guys, and let's dive into the video. Alright, so we're at 170 BPM. You know, not full, like, modern drum and bass tempo, but still gives you that, like, faster, more aggressive, old school feel. And the first thing we have up here are these break chops. So what's happening here is a bit of call and response, right? Where we have two different patterns. We have the one where it's more focused around this, and then this. It's actually the same break, right? If you listen, they're both amens. But they have different textures, and it's also different chops. And then what's happening, so basically I had that groove. Like when you make this, you know, I took these and I had the chops, like I did all this stuff. And the way you do the chops is just you grab eighth notes. That's the secret to keep it simple. It's like even if you want the, like, just take it as an eighth note, and then you can just, like, you know, put that in wherever. Like that. That's how I do these chops. And you're able to do that pretty quickly, too, because it's just like, instead of going in there and like, oh, yo, let's get every 16th note, that would kind of, that doesn't really give you the same kind of sound as well. So we've got that, and then we got this one here, which I chopped up a bit as well. And then underneath it, the thing that kind of like ties these together is there's this one break. That's sitting underneath both of them. And if you notice what's happening here, obviously like putting two breaks together could get a bit messy, but the idea is that this one and this one, they're very different, so they complement each other. And that's what you need to look for if you're going to do that. That's how to make that work really well, is don't just put together, for example, like having the two MM breaks at the same time would be really bad, even if they sound slightly different. But here, where this one's more like mid-rangey, and you know, it's got like the shaker in there and stuff, and then this one has more of those like kind of like airy highs to it, they're going to fit well together. And then also you can see I chopped them the same as well. And then here, they actually have a little bit of different chops, but it sounds cool. But those two also fit together really well. And you can see you don't really have to do a whole lot of processing if you just choose the samples well. I've got just a high pass filter, and then this is cutting out a bit of room for the kick and also boosting some highs. Then we have this breakbeat. So this is just kind of like at the end of when that one cuts out, that last one I showed you. So this is just this breakbeat. That's kind of like an amen as well. I have an erosion on this, and it's got an automation on the frequency, so it just kind of gives you that, like, you know, crunchy, like breakcore kind of texture. And then we have a high pass and a little bit of a high end boost as well. Then we have some drum samples. So I'll play the drum samples all together so you can hear kind of what's happening. And as you heard with the breakbeats, you know, they sound pretty full, but they don't really have the punch, so that's what this adds. On its own, it sounds kind of crazy, but this is actually matching up with what the break chops are doing. Like when you do this, I do the break chops first, and then I just sat there with the MIDI, and just every time you hear a kick in the break, for example, put one in. When you hear those on their own, it sounds kind of funny, but when you play it, you can hear, like, it really adds a lot to that. So really all it is it's, you know, that classic jungle 808 hi-hat, just that actually adds like a lot of groove. Like without that, you're not quite bobbing your head as hard. We have a kick. which is just like this nice textured kick. You know, it's got like a lot of mid-range punch. And then I have a snare layered with a rim shot. So here's the snare, and then the rim. Again, two different samples that complement each other really well. And there you go. So that's all the drums. You know, it's not actually that complicated if you break it down. But I think if you don't really know what to do, that could seem like a mountain to climb. Then we had the bass line. So this is like a nice classic jungle 808 bass. I made this with wavetable, so I'll show you the MIDI first. So it's a simple kind of like, you know, this has like a nice groove with the breaks. I'll play it for you. Right, this like 808 jungle bass, you know, with a lot of space. Like here it'll be like dun dun, and then there's all that space there to like have some open, you know, not notes. And it's just following the chord progression as well. For the actual 808 sound, so again, I made this with wavetable. It's kind of like in between a sine and a triangle wave. And then what's happening is I actually have, so here's the amp envelope. You can see it's kind of like an 808. But then the pitch envelope, it's actually this. It's like a whoop, but it gives you that really good like I was comparing this with some of these 808s that I have in like these hip hop kits over here. And that's actually kind of a more accurate punch rather than just taking it and making it like that kind of sounds a little bit synthetic. I think like an actual 808, the envelope's more like whoop. But it still sounds super punchy, even though there is a little attack on there, because it's so short. Then we have a bit of a saturator. You can see that's just a little bit, but here's without it. And with it. It's adding a lot of crunch, but I only have it at 11% because it's like doing so much of that. And then we also have a bit of drum bus. Then we have the main pad. So these are these like jazzy sort of chords. Look back at the 808. So you see we're in the key. It's literally just going F to C actually. Like if you look at this here, it's like F major to C major with all these extra voices on top. And those are all just notes from F major. Like to be honest, when I was writing this, I was not thinking super musically like that. It's literally just like putting these notes together with notes that are in this F major scale, so you know it's not going to be out of key, and then creating these like big stacks of these jazzy chords and creating that little like movement there at the end as well. For the sound here, it's made with operators, so it's this FM pad, it's a square wave, and then a bit of noise actually, and then a saw wave. So that's what that sounds like, and then I'm low passing it. So it gives you this nice, like, kind of like muted, but still very rich sounding old school pad. I've got a bit of phaser on it, a bit of echo, reverb, and then just a high pass filter. You know, you don't even need too much saturation. If you use that filter like that, and the phaser, you can get that, like, kind of analog sound without even needing too much. We've got all these little background sounds as well. So you can hear just all these little like ambient sounds that come in and out over top of that progression. You know, like little stabs. A lot of times people use samples for these. I wanted to show you guys how to do them from scratch though. You know, like you could sample that. But here's how to do it. All it is, so again, it's like this C minor thing here. And what's happening is we have this melody. No, 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 like that. And then this one up top. You know, it's just those two different melodies. Kind of same thing over here. It's all just in that key. We have like this analog thing here. You know, and these are just simple like key sounds as well. You know, this is just like some saw waves with the low pass. I have the 303. I wanted to do the 303 in jungle or like breakcore. It sounds pretty dope. Yeah, so you can see even that, you know, it's just like a simple MIDI. I'm using my Ultimate 303 rack. I made a video on that. Should be in my channel somewhere. So what I've got is, yeah, you can see I'm just automating the filter there and the length of the envelope. This is just like another key. This one I actually took the 808. And I was trying to do one of those crunchy, like, super distorted 90s, like, 808 basses. You know, pretty simple. It's that same 808 patch, just with some different distortion. And then we just have a bit of noise at the bottom to add some texture. And so that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. And let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full project file, samples, MIDI, presets. The entire template is available at the top of the description. At the top of the description, you can also find information and grab one of my custom tutorials, lessons, ghost productions, or track finishing. It's a really great value, and they're starting to fill up. So definitely grab one while you still can. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. And I'll see you soon with another video.